Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show on this Thursday morning. It's Expresso on SABC3. And yes, the truth must start to sink in because 'tis the season to pay taxes. It's a 2015 tax filing season for individuals, which has officially begun. And it might be a hassle for some, but for many out there, it also means getting some money back from SARS, which is like getting an early Christmas present or a surprise gift from an old friend. Now, at least 30,000 taxpayers have already submitted their tax returns via e-filing since midnight of the 31st. And to find out how you can beat the queues, we're joined on the line by acting spokesperson for SARS, Luther Lebelo. Mr. Lebelo, thank you very much for taking our call.
No, thanks very much for having us this morning.
Excellent. Now, SARS is often looking for ways to improve their systems. And for those who are looking to get an easy and quick approach to tax filing, how can people get their returns done painlessly and as quick as possible this year?
Yeah, you'll remember that we are among one of the best in the world when it comes to simplifying the taxes and your refunds. So there are three options that you have to do that. The first one is that, which is the most convenient and the easiest one, is to e-file. So if you do the e-filing, you, with everything equal, you may get your refund within 72 hours.
Oh wow!
The second one, obviously, is the one of going into a branch, which might take a bit longer. And the third one is the one where we use the mobile tax unit. So with that one, we go into the deepest of rural areas and deep areas where we go there with the truck and you can do your filing there.
Yes.
And in that, you can also do the electronic filing. In fact, by the way, you can also go into a branch and still do electronic filing in the branch. So those are the efficient ways. And like I'm saying, it covers all the aspects. So you've got all the options in your paper. In fact, by last year, 99.9% of all the electronic files were assessed within 3 seconds, and we paid 98% of all the electronic filing within 72 hours.
Okay. Well, those are some very impressive stats indeed. So I guess one of the very important questions that people want to know is when are the deadlines and when do the penalties for late returns come into effect?
Okay, the deadlines are as follows. If you are a provisional taxpayer, meaning that you're getting your salary and all the basic things, you have got until the 27th of November to file your return. If you're doing a manual one, so manual one is the one that you fill the documents and put in an envelope and put in a box. You have got until the 30th of September.
Okay.
But if you are a provincial taxpayer, the first one was a non-provincial taxpayer. But if you are a provincial taxpayer and you want to use electronic filing, you have got until the end of January 2016.
Okay, all right. So there is some time, but obviously the quicker you do it, the better. But of course, for some people out there, paying tax is a bit of a bitter pill to swallow. How is SARS going about convincing the people of South Africa to file their tax returns this year?
Yeah, look, like you said, in the last 24 hours, 115,000, just over 115,000 people have filed their taxes. Yeah. Which for us is a very great sign of a patriotic and a patriotic taxpayer who understand that paying tax is not only constitutional, it's not only by failing to do that you are not only committing a criminal offense, but they understand that it's a social contract between the people of South Africa and the government of the day. And also the fact that they appreciate that it is through their taxes that this government can be able to build schools, clinics, roads for the poor, and also making sure that we pay all the 2 million civil servants in the country, the police, the nurses, and everybody else, the teachers, so that this country works like a machine. And we're very, very appreciative that 20 years down the line, because of the taxes of our people, we have went very, very far as a country, and we are far better a country than many other countries. And it's only because of the taxes that our people are paying. And we're very, very grateful to South African Revenue Services by really the commitment and the conviction of our people.
Thank you so much, Mr. Lebelo. We appreciate your time.
Thanks a lot.
Well, there you go. That's Mr. Luther Lebelo, acting spokesperson of SARS. And of course, if you haven't yet submitted your income tax return, it's not lost. As you heard, there is still some time. But in fact, if you'd like to find out more information, go to www.sarsefiling.co.za, remembering that the manual submissions deadline is on the 30th of September 2015.